Hello, my name is Olivia Francis. I'm a multi-award winning artist and songwriter living in Nashville, Tennessee. Welcome to What's Your Birthday and What Does It Mean? Sisters Jeri Isaacs and Donna Bernard, co-moderators of the popular Clubhouse Room, explore life's dynamics from their unique point of view based on the day you are born. Sponsored by NashvilleGuitarGuru.com and DearWiseWomen.com. Always fun, never disappoints. It's always in the cards.
Okay, welcome back.
Hi, Jeri. That was really heartwarming talking about Full House.
Yeah.
And it was that different kind of family. And, they ran for 8 seasons and produced 192 episodes.
Wow. And I think we watched every single one of them.
Several times.
Right?
That was the longevity of a series at the time. And, as we look at Seinfeld, they too had a long series in everyone's hearts. And they ran for nine seasons, but only 180 episodes.
Okay.
But endures the test of time because when you say the contest or
yada, yada,
this
yada.
is this is a story about nothing. It's a show about nothing.
Big hands.
The
close talker.
But what we're here to do, because we all know how to laugh with the Seinfeld episodes that are timeless, but we like to look at people from a different point of view. The day they were born sets different personality traits, because for them to endure as an ensemble cast, there really has to be something in the cards, and we know that. So we look at that from a unique point of view, and we know that they had a show about nothing. And we have a series about something.
Yep.
So it's nothing but a thing, but it's our thing about something.
Oh, Donna, I think we'll be playing that song in the break.
It's one of my favorite songs because it's like Seinfeld was about nothing, and we are about something.
Yep.
And it's all about a thing.
Yep, it's all about a thing.
Yep. So let's look at. And this is the heavy lifting or the hard work that we do. Jeri and I have been having this conversation for so many years. So Jeri, we're going to start with Jerry Seinfeld.
Ah, okay.
Jeri, okay. So Jerry's a 5 of clubs and that double ace of spades.
Wow. Mysterious, huh? Secret ambition.
He did have secret ambition. And, he grew up on Long Island, and he went to Queens College, and we lived in Queens.
But that five of clubs, that's someone who is smart and looking for all these different ways to, should he do this? Should he do that? And I think it's a good card for someone like him, like a comedian who's gonna not settle down in one spot.
Yeah, and it's interesting because it was his friendship with Larry David that started Seinfeld.
Right.
And, looking at Larry David, his cards are a king of diamonds, a king of hearts, and a 2 of diamonds.
Wow, that's interesting. So the king of diamonds, that's the big business card. So Larry David was... I mean, I know he has this Curb Your Enthusiasm, but when it came to Seinfeld, he was what, like an executive producer type of, or director?
Yeah, but I think they're like, Larry David might be 10 years older than Jerry Seinfeld, right?
Right. But wasn't like George Costanza like sort of the Larry David character?
Yes. Yeah. But they were like Jerry and George, Jason Alexander, Julia. They were more in our age group. Mm-hmm. Larry David is like he was born in 47, so he's actually 10 years older than me. Sorry, Larry, I didn't mean to, Okay. But we feel good, and I love Curb. But he might have been that father figure to them because of that King of Hearts.
Right.
What do you think?
Well, the mentor, absolutely. And then he obviously was their mentor. In terms of the show and the comedy. Yeah. And that what that two of diamonds?
Yeah.
You said. Yeah, I mean, I see that a lot lately, like in terms of people who like to, who really need to be working with other people. Like comedians, I think, especially need to like have someone to sort of work off of,
Yeah, I do think so.
so,
And,
but
but he
Jerry's
all
weird with those double ace of spades because that's really a very, someone who really has ambitions, but sort of keeps it quiet. Like, and it makes a little sense because, he, you know, I guess Seinfeld really made him, more of a star than he was before that, just being a comedian, even though he was fabulous as a comedian. But think about like, he's doing the show about nothing basically, and becomes a big star anyway, but puts himself like, no, I'm not looking to do anything. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it's sort of like that quiet, like really quiet. I'll just say I'm doing nothing, and I'm gonna become a star anyway.
I think that's like really always in the cards.
Yeah, it's sort of funny. Yeah.
And
What?
you know, it's funny because looking at them as we talk about the ensemble cast, I really see there's only two hearts in the whole cat in their
Well, they
cast.
were
Larry,
heartless too.
yeah, well, we don't have hearts, but Elaine had a heart, and Larry David. Who knew?
Who knew? What's Elaine's cards?
Elaine is a nine of clubs. I'm sorry, is an ace of spades, like
Oh,
Jeri.
ooh, that's another one with secret ambition.
A nine of clubs,
Okay, smart and
old
witty.
soul. Yeah.
And
A seven of hearts.
hmm, unconditional love. Hmm. So I guess like, well, she was the girl in that show.
She
In that, she was that girl in that show,
she
and
was that girl.
she had to embrace like all those boys. you know, like she had to hold her own, and she really did it well. So I mean, Seven of Hearts is a cool card.
Especially with that nine of clubs, because she was smart. She was wicked smart.
Very sharp. Yeah, she was and very funny.
But once she did those dance moves, when I would go to corporate events, if I was going to dance, oof, it did not. It just like you had to dance like Elaine, and then it was okay. But
Right.
then
You could
when
just say, just I'm dancing like Elaine, and then
I
it
was,
doesn't matter how you dance. You could be the worst dancer in the world, and it's like,
but
okay,
it's
that's cool.
Elaine.
Right.
But then you look at George Costanza, right?
Right.
Oh God,
Okay.
it's so bizarre to look at. So he's an ace of clubs, queen of clubs, and a ten of spades.
Hmm. Well, he's a really that Ten of Spades is a workaholic, and I've heard like Jason Alexander. I mean, he played George Costanza, but I don't think he's is George Costanza. You know
No,
what I
but
mean?
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I think I think he did Broadway and stuff. I mean,
Yes,
he was a dancer. I mean, he there's much more. He's much deeper than what shows up on that Seinfeld
true,
screen.
true.
So and that Ace of Clubs shows that he's a someone who likes to you know uh, wants to learn things, do things, and make his own way a lot in a lot of different ways. What was the second card?
A queen of clubs.
Oh God, I wonder how he
Could you
drives.
imagine him driving?
I don't know. We're gonna have to like Google like George. No, Jason
Jason
Alexander driving.
Sh-
So we wonder if he has any parking tickets or any
But you know
driving
what's
tickets, speeding
you know
tickets.
what's funny though? Jerry, George, and Elaine all have aces.
I know.
That's why we look at this. We look at this in a new point of view. Who knew?
Yeah, but something united them about that. So and think about it. Oh my God, think about it. These were all people that were single on that show alone.
Yes,
Like they were not family. They made a family, but they made a family of like people who were on their own.
right.
Like
They
it's like
chose to be together
right,
instead
but
of
like
like
the
they
aces
chose.
who got
Yeah.
together, to be a family.
And Larry David was their father. Like he wrapped their arms around. Like when I say those clubs and the spades and everything, they need their hearts. They had Larry King as their king.
Larry David.
I mean, Larry David as their king, and the double hearts and the two of diamonds.
Right.
With their aces. And it's funny because then they had the crazy neighbors. They had the neighbors. They had Newman.
Newman.
Who was also in Third Rock, which was, I remember that was like one of our favorites.
Right.
But
right. Forgot
he's
about
that
that show.
double six of diamonds and that eight of spades.
Really? Okay. I mean, I wouldn't know too much. I don't know too much about him.
He was the mailman that every time Jerry says Newman.
Yeah, I know
like
that.
it was just, and think about it just was the mailman.
I just don't know about him personally, like how that, he was not completely part of the ensemble, not the whole time.
No, and then you had Kramer, which he's a 444 clubs. Which is like that neighbor that comes in, almost like that Kimmy of Full House.
Right.
Like
same thing.
Like she just would pop in, here I am, and say something.
Right.
And with a lot of physical humor.
Right.
Physicality to him. But it's really interesting because it's really always in the cards. And Jerry and George and Elaine and Kramer and Newman, and then the people in that ensemble, there was a lot of mental power because while they all have aces, Jerry, George, Elaine, Kramer, they also have clubs.
I think
they all have mental power.
Right. I think comedians need to have clubs. I think it's
saw
really important. Yeah.
We saw that. Yeah.
Because they got to come up with material.
But they have that inquisitive mind, especially like the aces and the early clubs. It's really astonishing to see, and then how it endured, and who they become, and still are in our hearts. I mean, you can, so many times you could be in a difficult conversation with your family or business or whatever, and you could always whip out a Seinfeld line and make the room laugh and kind of.
It really does bind us all together. Bind us. That doesn't sound right, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's
in common. It's a joke that we all have in common that we all can relate to together, and it means something to all of us.
Yes.
I mean, it's like an inside joke in a family, like Velcro. We'll have to tell that story one time. I don't know,
Jerry. I love that story.
That's the best story ever.
Well, I think that why don't we just end with that great story, because it was an April Fool's story. It was in the 80s, probably.
Yeah, well, let's see. I was with my first husband, and we were all sitting at the dinner table, and our bonus dad, Howie, who we love dearly.
He too is a 5 of diamonds. He's a 5. Right. He traveled the world in sales, talking to many people.
Right, and then started telling us at dinner how he had a bet with someone in the hardware store that he would go to sell different, whatever hardware material, and he said that
this was like before Velcro. People knew what Velcro was,
right? And he
was it was the very beginning of Velcro,
right? So he's telling us how they just didn't believe him, but he had read an article in the New York Times or something.
No, or the Wall Street
Journal, right? How Velcro, the Hungarian Velcro workers were on strike, and he just was sitting there telling us about it, and how the person wouldn't believe him, and he had a bet with him.
Because it grew on trees.
Because it grew on trees, and they were on strike. And those of us at the table just started looking at each other, and my ex-husband, my husband at the time, goes walking up to the bathroom and brings down this Wall Street Journal that he had put in the bathroom. That
for April Fools,
that
was the April's edition
joke. It was about the Hungarian Velcro workers being on strike, and I mean, like, how we had taken it completely seriously. I mean, I don't think I don't think we all never laughed so hard. I mean, it was just the most hysterical moment that I think we just hear Velcro and we start to laugh. I mean,
and that was like the one word you say Velcro, and you take it for granted because now there's Velcro on everything. But before that, there was buttons, there was snaps. There was no Velcro.
no one. But I mean, obviously, it was no because he didn't know that it didn't grow on trees.
Well, because we had to learn how to actually tie our shoes.
You know what's on? There's still shoelaces. I have been shoe shopping recently, and they still make sneakers with shoelaces. Not that I buy them. I do not buy ones with shoelaces. However, they still have them, and I look at them and I go, "Why? Why?"
The big one, but we're showing our age. So I'm 64.
And I'm 39.
So my oldest sister and I are talking about tying our shoes in the early days of Velcro. So you see, we have our own series about something. It ain't nothing but a thing, but it's our thing.
Oh my goodness.
And on that note, Jeri,
I think it's time to say peace out.
I'm Donna Bernard. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Enjoy. We'll see you next time. Take care.
My doctor said you got to chill. Can't fix your problem with a pill. This apoplexy makes you rude. You got to change your attitude. So I gave up whiskey, cheese, and meat for probiotic germ of wheat. Ate the nuts and squeezed the juice. Drank the smoothies, chewed the roots. Darndest thing at work, 'cause I was calmer than the Dalai Lama and rose above all of the melodrama. Then got rear-ended by this hippie chick in a day-glow green Impala, and she said, "Ain't nothing but a thing, that ain't nothing but a ding. Why you wanna be a fool or lose your cool? It ain't nothing but a thing." Said, "Why don't you come with me? I got yoga mats and herbal tea." The chamomile went to my head. Next thing I knew, it was in bed. Lord have mercy. We took that carpet ride. I woke up mystified. Laying right beside me was the note she left behind me. Said, "Ain't nothing but a thing. This ain't nothing but a fling. Why you wanna be a fool or lose your cool? It ain't nothing but a thing." Now all this contemplation got me craving something sweet. They got Mississippi mud pie, place just up the street. Eggs and fries with bacon piled high. She spilled the coffee, burned the toast, and then commenced to cry. And I said, "You know, I learned something today. Ain't nothing but a thing. It ain't nothing but a thing. No, you ain't no kind of fool to lose your cool. It ain't nothing but a thing. Ain't nothing but a thing."